My first guest is an Emmy award-winning sportscaster who's just back from Torino, where he hosted the Olympics for NBC. Please welcome Bob Costas. Conan, welcome back to our fair city.
Conan, thank you so much.
Yes.
But really, I have a bone to pick with you.
You have a bone to pick? You're angry with me?
Well, mildly annoyed.
Mildly annoyed?
I'm watching the show last night.
Oh.
And as
you
one
never
of,
miss it, I'm told.
Scarcely ever. And,
yeah.
And in one of your delightful little bits,
yes,
you cast a hypothetical TV movie.
Let me explain what we did.
Based on the Olympics.
Yes, yes. We did a little piece last night. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Where we announced that NBC was going to be making a movie about the Olympics.
Right.
And that they'd already cast all the roles. We were having a little fun. And I'll show people what we did last night. We said American speed skater Apollo Anton Ono will be played by Fred Durst, which is a lot of fun. We said Olympic disappointment Bodie Miller will be played by George W. Bush, right there.
That's a good one.
We said speed skater Shawnee Davis will be played by Frozone. From The Incredibles.
That's
yeah,
all
and then
working.
we said Bob Costas will be played by Haley Joel Osment. And I thought, perfect. What's the problem?
I ask you, look.
You have a youth and vitality that's very Osment-like.
Well, you know, in Finland,
yes,
where they took silver in curling,
yes,
and in hockey,
yes,
you are an Olympic god.
It's true.
Yeah, so no Olympic movie could be cast without Conan O'Brien, or at least someone as Conan O'Brien. Wouldn't you agree?
Well,
yeah.
All right.
And so we have gone to that trouble. We've looked around at all.
Like where this is going.
At all the possibilities. So, in our movie, Conan O'Brien,
yes,
would be played by the Wendy's girl.
Oh,
Although I must say the likeness is not as striking as the president of Finland.
I like the Wendy's girl. Her name's
She
Wendy.
likes you?
Yeah. Now, okay, let's put all that aside.
All right,
we're chums. You and I are good pals.
We'll put it behind us.
We've been friends for a long time. I want to ask you something. I did not make it over to Torino. NBC did not invite me. I was not welcome. No, I didn't get over there.
You were in Europe, though. You were in Finland.
I was in Europe. I went to Finland. I was busy there, and I couldn't make it down to Torino. But, you know, I watch, and I was curious. Did you get to enjoy the city of Torino at all? Did you get out much? Were you able to?
Well, I was there a year before, went up into the Alps, traveled around Torino. There a few weeks before the games, familiarizing myself with it. But truth be known, when you host the Olympics, all you see is the hotel and the broadcast center.
Right.
It snowed one day in the city of Torino as opposed to the Alps. I walked very briskly from the front of the hotel to my car, and that's as close as I came to snow and ice during the entire games.
And this is what occurred to me 4 years ago when the Olympics were in Salt Lake City. I was working there. I stopped by, and I visited you, and you were broadcasting from this little studio. You had a fake fireplace. It wasn't even...
Conan, really?
It's fake. The fireplace, I'm telling you, it's like a $600,000 laser fireplace.
Yeah.
Because they're afraid to go out and buy a log. And
exactly.
But you're in this little booth, and I was thinking, you could be anywhere. You don't have to go to Torino. You don't have to go to Salt Lake. Why aren't you in Maui? Why don't you just say, well, here in Torino, brrr. I mean... We're not really in New York right now, you know.
But for the fact that they bring the athletes into the studio for me to interview them.
Right.
I probably could do it from almost anywhere.
The technology is getting to the point where there will be a time where you are, from your house, you're saying, we're here in Torino, robots that look like Apollo Anton Ono come in, and it's all done that way.
Exactly. In fact, they're already working on that with Haley Joel Osment as the host of the Olympics.
So even you won't have to be there.
That's correct.
Now, the opening ceremonies, I want to ask you about that.
Yeah.
It can look very odd to the home viewer.
Yes,
I don't know how it looked to you.
can.
The opening ceremonies, the closing ceremonies, there's a lot of very strange pageantry in the Olympics.
Very strange. And sometimes it's genuinely moving, like when Muhammad Ali lit the torch in Atlanta.
It's amazing.
Tremendous. Kathy Freeman in Sydney with a connection to their Aboriginal history. There are moments that are really legitimate. And then there are just some very strange things. And there really should be two broadcasts. The one you can do, because you can't offend all these little nations and the IOC and whatnot, and the one you'd sort of like to do for your friends at home.
Right.
In Salt Lake, there was there were giant icicles chasing a little boy around the ice, and I still haven't figured out
Did
what
this
that
happen,
meant.
or is this a dream you had? And what's wrong with you if it was a
Come
dream?
to think of it, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
And in Torino, there were pine trees with legs and snowballs with legs running around, and just very strange things that happened.
What was the oddest moment in the opening ceremonies for you?
Well, when the Parade of Nations happened, each nation came in accompanied by random American pop tunes from the 70s and 80s.
Right.
So Slovakia comes in to the strains of YMCA.
That one I actually saw, and I couldn't. People of Slovakia are coming in, and it's playing everywhere in the stadium.
Right.
YMCA,
I'm
and you
sitting
didn't
there
understand
saying,
why.
this is the nation that gave us Vivaldi, but now they give us the Village People.
Right.
You know, and this actually happens, ladies and gentlemen. The Islamic Republic of Iran. Everybody, get on the floor, let's dance. which captures the cultural tone in Iran, as we all know.
Sure. It's perfect. Now, I have to ask you, yesterday I'm working out in the gym, because you don't just get a body like this. And
Don't I know it?
yeah, and I'm benching, 400, 500 pounds. Then I look over and ESPN is playing. And I try to switch to The View, but the control doesn't work. And but I see ESPN is on, and there's this footage. Barry Bonds shows up at spring training, and he's in drag. And I think we have a photograph here.
No, actually, Conan, you had switched to The View, come to think of it. That's Star Jones. I think your remote was
Congratulations.
Am I done now?
No. I love you more than ever.
I took a look at that, and I decided...
What was he doing, first of all? What was he doing?
They did some sort of spring training skit to kind of loosen up the troops.
Right.
And apparently he was playing Paula Abdul in an American Idol skit. But in any case, I took one look at that, and I swore off my plan to go on steroids myself. Because apparently it reaches a point of critical mass, and then the testosterone turns to estrogen.
Right.
Evidently.
Don't I know it?
Yeah.
I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore.
Nor do I.
No one does, really. But it was very nice. I know you're a busy man. It was very nice of you to take the time out to come and visit us, and we're glad to have you back here in the States. You belong to America, aren't I right, people?
They're enthused.
Huh?
They're enthused. That was a spontaneous outpouring if ever I've seen one.
There would have been a lot of applause if I hadn't called for it. But thank you very much for being here.
Good
Bob
to see you.
Costas
Thanks.
is a good man. Jenna Fisher coming up from the office. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.